Okay, so this is the garage and everybody knows it, but new players generally don't know their way around it that well. So today we're going to look at two vitally important things. Firstly, your garage, and secondly, crew skills. What it's all about and what do they actually mean. Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fuji's Blitz, and as I said in the intro, today this is my new player's guide number 2. It's a garage walkthrough and then we're going to walk through the crew skills. Because I was chatting to some friends last night in Discord and you know what, even some of the advanced players have no idea about the crew skills. But before we even get onto that, let's look at your garage. This is it, everybody should know it. Now press the avatar at the top and it will take you to your profile. Now this screen shows you a lot of information. It tells you how many battles you've done, how many rating battles you've done, it tells you your military honor, everything about you is on this screen in a basic format. But we're not going to look at that just yet. So first and foremost, let's have a look at this rating type stuff. Now, don't press the big green bar because that will take you to an external site and out of the game. Press the little circle at the top and that will take you to your rating screen. So if you've done ratings battles and you want to know how good you're doing, well, this is the screen and it shows you all about ratings. Pretty cool, hey? Next, we want to look at your awards. And there you go. Click on the awards where the arrow's pointing and that's all the medals that you've got at the moment. And those are all of mine. And if you click on the all, then you've got this one. You can press any of these drop downs and it'll show you exactly what medals are there and which ones you haven't got yet. Now the next tab is stats. Click on that, tells you how many games you've played, tells you everything you need to know about you and your game. Next tab is vehicles. Click on that, takes you to this screen, lists all your tanks in your garage, and you can play around with that. You can see how many battles you've had, which is your best tank, which is your worst tank. You've got your overall results and you've got another tab that says awards. Now, when you come back out, you go back to your garage. Now, press your name. You see there, you got my name at the top, and it says 175 days of premium account. It's got my name, and it's also got my clan name. So if you press your name, it takes you to this screen, which is in the store, and it tells you you can buy more premium if you're running out. Now, I don't think I need any more. Next, go back, and you've got this, like, electric lightning bolt. Press that, and it will take you to your boosters. These are the things you collect out of crates, and there's a selection of boosters, and if you click on them you can add them and it tells you on the right hand side exactly what they all do, and that's what a booster looks like. Next we go back again. This time we're going to press the upgrades button and it's the arrows pointing up to it and it says there like 50.7k for upgrades, and it takes you to this screen which basically shows you all the various guns, turrets, engines and tracks available for this tank, but we're not going to go into that just yet. Next we're going to come back out, we're going to press that avatar again and it will take us back to our profile. Here we go to the profile. Now we're going to press the avatar in the profile and that will take us to our avatar storage. And here we go, press it, and here's the list of all the avatars that you've got. And you've got all on the one side and mine. So play around with those, see which avatars you've got and install the ones that you like the most. However, these do bugger all to improve your tank. They just make your name in the screen look a bit prettier. That's it. Next, we're going to click onto Military Honor. Ooh, this is a tab that everybody misuses and fails to understand. So we're going to click on it. Now, I'm not going to go into an in-depth what Military Honor is. All I'm going to say is this. Once you press it, it shows you this screen. Press on the stars at the above and it gives you a list of what they all mean. Read them, understand them. When you come back out, press on your assessment history, which is highlighted, and it tells you how many praises or complaints you've had during your career. And at the bottom, as you can see, it tells you about penalties. Now, I haven't had any, so that's pretty nice. We're going to come back out again, look at tournaments. If you participate in tournaments, click on this tab where the arrow's pointing, and it takes you to this screen, and it lists all the tournaments you have played in. And if you click on any of those tournaments, it will take you to this screen, and if you click on matches, it will show you how you did in that particular tournament, how your team did against your opponents. It's all very nice. So you can go back and see how good you were. Coming back out, we're now going to click not the battle button, but the dice where the arrow is pointing. Click that. You get this drop-down box. You then have regular battle and ratings battles. You can then, in regular battle, click encounter or click supremacy. However, if you notice, supremacy is only available for tiers 5 to 10 vehicles. So if you click this on and take encounter off and play a tier 4, you'll only get encounter, I'm afraid. If you click an icon next to that, then you'll get a description of what a regular and a ratings battle is. I suggest you read them. Get familiar with the types of battles you're going to face. Back out again, we're now going to click on the little satchel over there where the arrow is pointing, and this will take you to your missions screen. And this looks like this. You're given 3 missions. You can reset them for money. If you click on any of them, then it'll give you a description of what the mission's all about, what you need to do, and what your rewards are. Back out, we're now going to click the storage where the arrow is pointed, and this takes you to your storage. And here you've got all the stuff that you've gained over your career. So you've got certificates, containers, and other. So in certificates, you've got a load of bumps that you sort of collect. I've got a load of camos for tanks I don't even have. If you go into containers, I've still got charms for a tank that I got a long time ago. And if you go into other, you've got all this rubbish that you of your boosters and everything else. Back out again, we're now going to click on the tech tree where the arrow is pointing. This is an important piece of information. Click on the tech tree and it takes you to the tech tree. If you look at the bottom, you've got all the countries. Click on any of those. I'm just showing you the German tech tree at the moment. Back out. Now we're going to click back on to upgrades. Once you've clicked on the upgrade, here you go again, back to this screen, and you can play around. You can change the guns over, and on the right hand side it gives you all the information you need to know. So let's change a gun, and as you see, it drops everything, makes the gun worse, so we're not going to go with that. Clearly, get familiar with that, guys, because it's really important. Back out again, we're now going to press the gold at the top where the arrow is pointing. This takes you to the store where, if you really want to, you can buy more gold. As you can see here, there's a tab called gold. Oh, I don't think we need more gold, so now we're going to click on credits. If the arrow is pointing at it, so you click on the credits, and it will take you to another screen. This screen where it's got credits and experience. Now in this screen, you can use gold to purchase more credits if you really want to. So it tells me how many credits I've got and what my balance of gold is, and I can do an exchange. But it's only purchasing credits for gold. It's not purchasing gold for credits. And it tells you what the exchange rate is. 1 piece of gold for 400 credits. We're going to come out of there and we're going to click on the experience, which is I'm showing you now with the arrow. And this will take you to another screen. Now, that screen is basically this. And it shows you there that I've got 5.6 million experience. And it shows you on the left all the tanks where that experience is held. Now, you only get this experience on tanks that you've fully researched. And basically, it's like free experience, but it doesn't go to the free experience at the top. So click onto your filter screen, and it takes you to this side here. And it lists all the different tanks. You've got light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, tank destroyers. You've got your tiers 1 to 10. You've got ×2, ×5. You've got your preferred tanks, which is that sort of ribbon. You've then got your non-researched tanks. These are tanks that you're still researching. You haven't fully researched them yet. You've then, next is your fully researched tanks. That's the ones with the little laurel round. Then you've got your premium tanks. Then you've got your collector's tanks. I want to go back to this one, the one that the arrow is pointing at. These are the ones that are not fully researched. They don't have laurels around the tanks. Now, there are 2 ways to fully research a tank. Now, the first way, funnily enough, is that you buy all the upgrades. So if we press on the upgrades button, we will then go to this screen again. Now, as you can see, I have not bought the Object 263. Therefore, until I buy that tank, this tank, the SU-122, will not be fully researched. So all the experience I gain on this tank will stay on the tank. Some of it will go to free experience, but all the rest will stay with the tank. Now, once I've fully researched it, all that experience I can then convert by using gold into free experience. The other thing that you must note is this. You must research all the other equipments. So you have to have all the guns, all the engines, and all the turrets, and all the tracks. If you haven't got that, guys, then you cannot use gold to purchase and basically exchange this experience. Anyway, we come back out of there, and if you see, there's a sell button. Press that, and if you want to, you can sell your tank, and it tells you how much you're going to get back for it. Now, you can only sell 5 tanks a day, so you need to be aware of that. Coming back out, let's go back to the store, and here you go. These are the offers that are currently on. Click onto the bundles, onto the gold, the premium, the vehicles, the containers, and the boosters. This tells you what you can and cannot buy. That's your garage, guys. That's basically it. So now we're going to look at crew skills. So click this button here where the arrow is pointing, and this leads you to this screen, and it gives you a list of all the crew skills. There are basically 20, 5 for each type of tank. Now this part is important. Let's look at light tanks. There are 5 crew skills that say trained in light tanks. You can only train those crew skills in a light, and if you look on the right hand side, it tells you how many battles are remaining, etc., etc., and it tells you the cost. Once you've actually trained that skill, however, it applies to every type of tank. So, recap, it can only be trained in a particular tank, but once trained, it applies to all tanks. That's important, guys, really is. So let's have a look at some of them. First, I'm going to look at the most important one, I think, and that's precision fire, and that's the arrow pointing up to it. What is that? Well, if you have a look here, there's an arrow pointing down. I've just taken a shot, and that little icon with the circle has got a little sort of blue triangle in it. That means my first shot is hit. Now with the second shot's hit, look, so I've got a green triangle. Now the third shot's hit, so I've now got a fully pulsating red triangle. If I hit the tank, oh no, because I only have a 35% chance of getting it. But what happens if I do get that 35% chance? Well, watch this. So as you can see, my little thing's flashing at the bottom. I'm aimed onto this bat chat. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. My reticle goes down. I press the fire button as soon as it goes down and keep looking at the bat chat, and I get a massive roll. And if you see, an exclamation mark comes up. And if you also look down at the icon, there's an exclamation mark in the middle of the thing. That means that the crew was successfully applied, and I got a maximum roll. Next, we're going to look at rage. Ooh, sounds good. And that's the rage icon there, and it's trained in medium tanks. Nice. So, what is rage? Well, rage is an interesting one. Basically, once you killed a tank, see the little icon comes up, it means you get a 7% boost to your reload in order for you to kill another tank. Nice. Now we're going to look at penetration boost, and the penetration boost icon is there highlighted with the arrow. Now, what does this mean? Well, basically, once this is activated, like you see here, I get a massive boost of 7% to score penetration between 100 and 115%, which is nice. Next, we look at the close combat master, and that one is highlighted with the arrow there, and it's trained in heavy tanks. Now, what this one actually does is when you are close to an enemy, then you get a 6% boost to your traverse speed. There's the icon will come up in a minute because I'm getting close to the enemy, and there it is. And all of us, I rammed him. Now, that allows me to basically rotate the turret a lot quicker, which is an important skill when you're in close combat. Next, we're going to look at firefighting. Should need no explanation. Basically, this accelerates your crew in putting out fires by 42% if you've got it fully done. So what happens? Well, there you go. Look, my friend here has had a fire, and he activates it, and it's out really quickly. Simple as that, really. Next, we're going to look at the adrenaline rush. This is an interesting one, and there it is highlighted there. Now, adrenaline rush only activates when you have 15% of your hit points remaining. As you can see, I've got hardly any hit points. And what it does, it increases your reload time by 7% and allowing you to kill the enemy. Very useful. Next up, we've got repairs, and repairs is highlighted with the arrow coming up now, and there it is there. What does this do? Well, this is pretty straightforward. Repairs, if you're damaged, it effectively increases the repair time for critically damaged modules by 24%. So as you can see here, I just rammed him, but of course no damage to me. I've got my close combat master coming up. My modules are damaged, but not critically. Now I've got a critically damaged module. Press the repair, and my tracks are repaired super quickly, allowing me to sort of move away and kill him. Next, we've got Sniper. Sniper is a great one, and there it is highlighted there. Now, what does this do? Well, actually, it increases your chance of damaging a module by 100%. In other words, you're guaranteed to damage a module. So here we go. We're going to take a shot into this one. Nothing's come up yet, as you can see. Boom. Still nothing's come up. We're loading. Boop. Now there's a sniper, so we definitely will damage a module. And we do. We damage his tracks, as you see. And that is how that one works. Next, we've got deadly accuracy. Deadly accuracy, there it is highlighted there, it's the binoculars, only actually applies when you're on your own. So as you can see here, I'm the last tank standing, and there are 3 tanks on the enemy. So my deadly accuracy kicks in. It basically increases my view range and aiming speed by 5%, allowing me to get onto those tanks a lot quicker. I know it doesn't sound much, but when you are the last tank against quite a few tanks, it means a lot. Next, we've got hasty shot. And again, it's going to be highlighted with this arrow, as you see there. That's it. And what does this do? Well, basically, it gives you a chance to make an accurate shot when the dispersion is more than 100% higher than the minimum value. And as you see here, look, boom, there he goes. He gets a hasty shot. Very nicely done. And that's how that one works. It's, it doesn't always kick in. You have to meet the parameters for the shot to work. So, next up, we're going to look at fast capture. Now, this one's highlighted with the arrow. There you go. Again, training light tanks. Now, once you've got this, what it allows you to do is capture the base a lot quicker. So here I am, and it hasn't come up yet, but it's going to come up in a minute because I'm on the base, and there it goes. There it comes. And because I've only trained it to level 3, I've only got a 3% increase in capturing the base. If I trained it all the way up, then it'll be clickety split. It'd be a 7% increase. But what happens when there are 2 of you capturing the base? Well, if you look here, you get a double fast capture. So it shoots up to now 6% for me, which is nice. Next, we're going to look at breakthrough. Very interesting one, this. There it is highlighted there. So what does breakthrough do? Well, this basically increases your vehicle acceleration when you have 2 enemy vehicles in a 50 meter radius from you. Now again, I haven't trained this fully, so I only get a 5% boost, but if you train it fully, you get a 7% boost. So as you can see, there it is there, and if I wanted to run away, I've killed him, but if I wanted to run away, I get an engine boost. Next, soft recoil. Now, these final ones, and there's soft recoil there, are actually always active. You don't need to do anything. So soft recoil basically decreases your dispersion when you're firing. It's very useful for autoloaders. Next, we've got smooth ride, and there it is highlighted right there. What does this do? Well, basically it decreases your gun dispersion when you're on the move. A very useful thing, and it's always active. Then we got smooth turret traverse, and that one is highlighted right there. What does this do? Well, again, this actually decreases your gun dispersion when you're moving your turret. Unless, of course, you're in a turretless tank, and what then it does, it decreases the dispersion on the gun traverse instead. Next, we have robustness, which is highlighted right here. What does this do? Well, this actually reduces the effectiveness of the loss of any non-critically damaged modules by a certain percentage. Then we have clutch braking, which increases your vehicle's traverse speed by a certain percentage depending on how much you've got. There it is there. Then we have smooth turn, which is hereby highlighted with a big arrow, and basically this decreases your gun dispersion of a turning vehicle by a set amount. Then we have camouflage, highlighted here. This actually increases your concealment by a percentage amount depending on how and what level you've trained it to. And last but by no means least, we have mentor, which basically, depending on the level you've got, increases your crew experience earned in the battle. That's it, guys. Those are your crew skills, and mightily important they all are. I can't emphasize this enough. The more you train on them, the more effective your tank becomes, the more effective your crew becomes. Don't skimp on these guys. Anyway, that's my new player guide number 2. That's your garage walkthrough and your introduction to crew skills. I hope that's been informative and useful. Maybe not to some of the older veteran players, because they should know this stuff already. But if you're a new player or just starting out, then yeah, hopefully it has been useful. By all means, comment below. Tell me if it was any good. Tell me if it was utterly useless. Like if you liked it, and don't like if you didn't like it. Simple as that, really. If you are visiting my site and you haven't been here before, please, I implore you, press subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, the more chance I've got of getting things out of Wargaming to do giveaways. And finally, if you've got any decent aces or any really good replays that you thought you were good in that particular game, or you thought that's something that people should see, send it to me, fujitsblitz@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking, because really that's what it's all about, having fun and being happy.